be a little bit loud there because I've got 4 girls here. They're spending the night. Taylor and 3 of her friends are spending the night.
Did you do a head
So
count? Because the same amount have to go home that came there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we counted them. You know what for supper?
Chinese food?
Well, that's kind of presumptuous. I mean, 2 of them are Chinese, but
Yeah,
you're assuming here.
of course
So
I
they,
am.
they want they wanted poutine.
That would have been my last guess
Yeah,
as
yeah,
far as
exactly. So I went over to West End IGA. Got the biggest bag of French fries I could get. Okay, it was a big
okay,
fucking bag of French fries, a thing of
okay.
gravy, and a bunch of squeakers. Fried them all up, and away we go.
Well, I mean that's one way to do it. I don't know. Did you do the instant gravy or did you like?
This was the instant gravy. I've usually got my gravy recipe, but I just didn't have the time to actually get together.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this because you're obviously Chinese. Is gravy a thing there? Is
In
gravy
China?
used in?
Are you
Well, I'm just
kidding me?
trying to figure this out. Is gravy a
It's like
Chinese
in
thing?
everything that you make,
No, a
essentially.
sauce is not gravy.
Why you
Gravy
can
is
call
a
it whatever you
sauce.
want. So
So is there? Do you use would? Is there any Chinese food that would put gravy on it?
yeah, surprisingly, there's a lot of Chinese sauces that would have the gravy. Yeah.
Okay, are you just calling a sauce gravy? Like you know what gravy is, right?
What's the difference?
Well, one is cooked down beef drippings
Okay. Yeah.
with some flour, and you brown the butter, you brown the
Yeah.
flour, you add the drippings into it, and you have gravy.
It
How do
sounds
you?
terrible when you talk about it, doesn't it? Eh?
Yeah, but it's good on everything because
Yeah, I
we
used to make gravy every day when I cooked Chinese food.
was it gravy or it was
It
a
was
brown sauce
gravy.
you call
It
gravy?
was it was gravy. I
Really?
mean, there were no meat drippings in it, but there was chicken in it. We used chicken for flavor, chicken stock.
What's
Yeah,
what what dish would have that gravy that I would order and know about?
it'll be like some of the dishes like 31. That'd be the almond chicken, right?
Did you just tell me
Yeah, yeah, we remember
31
the
on the
numbers.
menu?
Yeah, 31.
Jesus. Like a combo number 5?
There was no common number five. We had ABC, so that was about it. So
Is that how it went?
yeah, that's how it goes.
Well,
It's a pretty
I
it's pretty bad when you can still remember the numbers for the various dishes and stuff, right?
yeah, but you were raised with that. You had to know what if someone ordered a number 52. Ooh, let's play that game. What's a number 47?
Number 47. Oh, that one was gross, dude. That one is fried beef with tomatoes.
You How long has it been since you've had to serve any of this stuff?
Oh man,
30,
that's
40
like
years?
20, 22 years. Yeah, 22
Really?
years. Yeah, yeah.
If you could ever do it again, would you open up a Chinese restaurant?
Nope, nope,
Really?
nope,
The passion isn't there
nope,
anymore?
nope, 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 nope. Good God, can you imagine running a restaurant in this economy right now?
You can say that about any business ever. Imagine
Okay,
running a tool store in this economy. Of course,
but let's look at it this way. Okay, so I just bought poutine. Okay,
huh?
so I had to get squeakers,
Right.
right? So 2 things of squeakers.
Yep.
Okay, so it's $17 for 2
Yeah.
bags of squeakers. Okay, and I got the big bag of French fries. Okay, and that was $11 for the French fries.
Right.
Okay, so then you got the gravy, and it was like $3 for the gravy.
Sure.
Okay, so you're 14. You're like $30 right there, and you're gonna get like the equivalent of like 4 dishes. But if you were to order for the restaurant for that price, you'd be getting like two.
Well, yeah, I guess it's not as that makes sense. Yeah, the costs are up and people are not understanding why, but it costs a lot of money to go out. Like I know how
Yeah,
they have the big boomers versus X's and Z's, and
yeah, yeah.
here's the argument that I've not heard, but it makes sense. You know what our parents didn't do
Eat out much.
ever? Like maybe once a month, but once a
Yeah.
summer. I remember it would maybe happen, but it wasn't weekly. It wasn't monthly. They didn't. they sure as hell weren't going to spend $7 on a coffee. And
No.
no, and
When
they
was the
just
last time, or when was the first time you had Starbucks or something similar?
I was shocked to see how expensive it was when I first went there.
Yeah. So, like, the first exposure I had to, like, Starbucks or Second Cup or something like that, or, like, even Forbidden Flavors, right, was me just getting regular coffee and fries. That was it. Because I didn't see the benefit. I didn't see the excitement of buying some of the mochachinos and things like that. I was like, well, I don't really want hot chocolate with coffee. I just want coffee, right? And there's
Well,
nothing wrong with it, but
and here this goes into I mean, I call this double standards, but it's hypocrisy at its best. The
that's
people
fair.
that
Yeah,
say, you know what, I don't eat junk food, but they'll drink a 2,500 calorie Starbucks 3 times a day.
there you go, right? And that is the truth because a lot of people are eating, or say they're on a diet calorie deficit. Of course, they always say 1,200 calories, right?
Right.
Right. And it's like, okay, but how much are you drinking? I was like, well, like, I remember a friend of mine. I would hesitate to call her a friend, actually. I came into class with, and she was there. She was drinking like an extra large, like, juice thing,
Hmm.
like the biggest juice smoothie you can get.
Like a booster
And
juice type thing.
something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't think it was booster juice, but something similar.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's quite a bit." She's like, "Oh, I love them. They're just so healthy." And I was like, "Well, yeah, but there's probably about 90 grams of sugar in that."
Yeah.
And she goes,
Yeah.
"Yeah, but that's okay because it's a natural sugar and it doesn't make you fat." And I was like,
Again, it's and I'm not saying that I'm a expert in anything.
"I just ate
However,
poutine."
you ate
you
poutine.
know,
I'm having a what do you did I see you with a buble?
I've got a buble. Yeah,
What is that? Pineapple?
pineapple. Yeah.
Here's something interesting, and much along the lines of buble pineapple. I grabbed this. It's Dead
What
Man's
is that?
Fingers.
I
It's
have no
rum.
idea what that is.
It's rum. It's a
Oh, okay.
pineapple flavored rum
Yeah, it's interesting.
because it's feelings. I haven't even tried it.
You should crack it open then, eh?
I just did. That tastes
And
like that tastes like summer. Wow.
what? It's summer, right?
It's light and it's smooth, and this is probably going to the camper.
Right? Is it?
Mhm.
Now, how long is it going to last, eh?
Quite a while for me to kill a bottle of anything takes months. I'm
Yeah,
a couple
really.
drinks on the weekend kind of guy. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
here's my thing. I also work out a lot, and in my monkey brain, if I drink enough to feel it,
Yep.
I've wasted a week of workouts. That might
Yep.
not be true, but in my brain, it works that way.
Whatever. That's a great emotional blackmail to keep you on the straight and narrow, right?
Yeah, I'm not the only person, and this way, I'm not. Everybody can give me a little bit of emotional blackmail in the house, except especially me.
Why not, right? You're the
And
best person to blackmail yourself into positive behaviors.
I am, and again, like this is again, I had trouble trying to figure out how to name what we're going to talk about because it's like that. Like I'm eating healthy, but I'm drinking 5,000 calories of smoothie.
Yep.
I
Yep.
like the guys that I remember when weed was kind of a remember back when weed was illegal
Those are the good old days.
and the guys that smoke weed would tell you how much they smoke. Like, oh yeah, man, I smoke so much weed. And great, God bless you.
Yep.
But those are the same guys would be like, oh, dude, I don't drink, man. No, you
Yep.
just do a whole lot of drugs. Like,
you just, yeah, you just do a lot of pot. But I mean, now you've got the inverse, right? It's like some people have taken a pretty staunch stance against cannabis, and it's like, no, I only drink, right?
yeah, it's not like one's really better than the other. I mean, does weed have less side effects? I would assume
Wow,
so.
you can look at it this way: how many civilizations has weed destroyed compared to alcohol?
Ooh.
Like, let's get serious here. Like, this caused some serious problems with a lot of cultures over the last how many thousands of years.
Well, from my days of bouncing in bars, I would rather deal with the potheads than the drunks.
The potheads are going to go grab some Doritos and go, hey, who got the Mexican food? And that's about it, right?
Lots of them were giggling by the smoky cart watching the fights break out,
Yes.
and they were never really aggressive. But
No, I mean, if you're stoned, you're just sort of like chill,
Mhm.
like you're just chilling out and relaxing. And it's like, dude, let's go to Sev. We'll get some nuggies or something. That'd be perfect.
Get some nuggies or treat yourself to some fine Mexican with some taquitos.
Yep, damn straight. Yeah.
And on a really good night, you get the nacho cheese sauce and you dip your
There you go.
taquito in the cheese sauce.
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
That's
Now
that's
that's
when
gourmet food. It's gourmet junk food.
that's a Michelin star type 7-Eleven hack for everybody.
Yep. But
By all means.
you get a lot of the drunks, and they just get slobberingly messy. I mean, we've all been there, shamefully, right?
Yeah, it's been a
But
while.
yeah, it's been a long time, thankfully.
I actually can't remember the last time I drank enough. I don't how do I put this? I can't remember the last time I drank like to drink. Like
Yep.
let's drink tonight.
Let's
I
do
can't remember
this.
the last
It's on, right?
like drink to get drunk. I can't remember the
Yep.
last time I've done that. Now I know that I have drank knowing I'm not going anywhere tonight.
That's different though,
Right. Like you've had a couple
because
drinks.
then you're still like, I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna have a little fun. I know I'm not gonna drive, so I can get a little bit silly, but it's not gonna be like, oh, it's begun.
Right. And the only time it happens really is when we're camping because we're the camp, we have the seasonal, and you're just sort of topping up your Yeti and you're
Yeah.
adding a little more whiskey to it. And you're not going anywhere
Yeah.
at all. However, I don't like putting that much in my system.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But again, that's where people say, well, I don't drink, I just smoke weed. Or like how much processed food do you eat?
Not really a lot. I mean, well, do you consider like vitamins and protein powder processed?
So there's a thing. Like I'll say I don't eat protein. I really don't eat processed food. I really try to stay
Yeah.
away from it. But I'll eat protein bars. I'll eat
Yeah.
protein powder, and that stuff
Yeah.
does not look at all like it did when it was alive.
No, it's definitely processed. But I mean, there are varying degrees of the intent of what the processed food is, right? Um, I was actually in supplement store just the other day getting some because like I can't consume whey protein. Okay,
Really?
yeah, I can't do whey protein anymore since I got older. Right? It was like my old card. It says no more whey. So I can drink a little bit of it. Like after a workout, I can, excuse me, I can do a protein shake, but it's got to be hydrolyzed whey. That like ultra clean, ultra broken down stuff.
Right.
Okay?
So you can buy that milk that's ultra filtered and stuff,
I
right?
wouldn't even try any milk. And if I have a milk or cheese or anything like that, it just messes me up.
Oh
I
God, I
can't
feel
help you
bad
right
for you.
now. So come here, come here, come here. Why are you giving this to me now? You know what the password is? I think upstairs. Like, oh my god,
Let us
little
all know
girl.
what your password is.
It's upstairs on the phone or on the fridge. I don't know. Oh my god, you're interrupting my whole thing here. You're damaging my cool, little girl.
This is why my studio is out of the house, man.
God,
But that's
right?
okay.
That one.
You got it?
Jeez. She's
Kids.
getting it. I tell you, kids.
She doesn't know the
Oh my
Wi-Fi
God.
password?
The Wi-Fi password is upstairs. You need to go upstairs. It's on the phone or on the fridge. On the fridge, go talk to your sister. Okay. Thank you. Can you close the door? Cool. Thank you.
Your
What were we
password.
talking about? It wasn't inappropriate.
Apparently,
either.
your Wi-Fi password is upstairs. That's a very
Yeah,
simple.
exactly. Just check the fridge. You know where it is.
Oh, I
What
thought,
were we-
I thought you meant the actual password was the word upstairs.
Oh yeah, no. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. Right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's kind of combination an idiot would have in his luggage.
Exactly.
Quick, what's the movie?
Spaceballs, of course.
Spaceballs. Yeah.
One
So
of the best classic movies of all time. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
you know what the funny thing is when he says let's all take a 15-minute coffee break.
Yeah.
None of those people are on screen for 15
exactly-
minutes. Exactly 15 minutes.
It's
And
just brilliant.
I miss Mel Brooks and those styles of movies. Like I miss
just
that.
the clever shit. You know?
Yeah, and unapologetic. Oh my God, Tom Segura has a new series out, and it's
Who?
stories, and apparently it is a lot.
Tom
So,
Segura? Who's that?
are you serious?
Oh, apparently.
Okay, you need to watch some Tom Segura. It'll change your life.
Oh, really? Okay.
One of the funniest comics out there. He's fantastic.
Okay.
But
All stories, eh?
yeah, actually, mostly stories is one of his stand-ups. He's one of the funniest comedians out there. He's fantastic.
Well, it's because real stories are always the best fun. Stories and parables, that's the best way to portray any communication and discussion or anything, really. It's the best way to talk to people through
And
stories.
that's where I'm trying to figure out why things like this are actually why people actually watch this stuff and listen to this, like live streams, podcasts. I think
Well,
we're sick
one
of
thing is people are tired of podcasts a bit, so they want everything's moving video, eh? Like
Yeah.
all the podcasts are moving video based.
Yeah.
Which is great because you can get paid in more than one ways, right? You can do the video on YouTube and you can also do podcasts just on regular airways.
Oh, I
But-
finally monetized my Facebook. I actually hit the
Did you?
buttons for stars and stuff
And?
like that. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'll be on Zuckerberg's payroll like you.
He's watching you now, right? So I got $34 American.
That's like
Yeah.
$300 Canadian.
It is. It's kind of impressive. You transfer it over and it's like, wow, that's going to go a long ways, actually.
You can make homemade poutine whenever you like.
Exactly. That Facebook paid for my poutine.
See, there you go. You're on the payroll.
Excellent. It's worth it. It's worth it. Thanks, Zuckerberg.
And
Probably listening right now and saying, "You're welcome, little
you're
guy."
welcome.
Always
Little fella
looking out for the little guy.
just wants to pinch your cheek and say, "You little
Yeah.
fella."
Aren't
there-
you cute?
There's another one. Again, is this a? It's not a double standard. It's more of a hypocrisy. I hate social media.
Yep.
Though, like, I get it. There's a lot of people that'll say that, but they check their phone every 2 minutes.
And that's the thing. I don't post. I just look at it. It's like that's worse.
It is
That's-
worse.
That's absolutely worse.
And this is how our kids, because the social media, I believe, is the newest addiction out there, and
is.
we're not helping because
Dangerous.
we're streaming on social media. But like our kids, there are limitations to it.
Yeah.
However, if they see us sitting on our phones every
All the
chance
time.
they get, and we're telling them not to look at their tablets, again, it's a double standard, and we're introducing a addiction to our kids. It's no
Right.
different than if our kids are the age they are, and I'm sitting there drinking every night, saying, "Well, yeah, don't drink, don't do what I do. No, do as I say.
Do as
Don't
they,
do as
not
I
as
do."
I do. Yeah, the saying of a bad leader, right?
Were we raised with those kind of phrases though?
Yeah, we kind of were.
Right. So do as I say, not as I do.
Now,
I don't-
okay, look at it this way. It used to be like, don't talk to people online, don't get in a car with strangers. Now it's call people online to get a ride and get in the car with a stranger.
Yeah. Yeah. Like what happened? Suddenly Uber is okay. Although I do trust an Uber more than trust a cab.
I won't take a cab.
Really?
I do not take cabs. I will if Uber is not available, I will take a limo.
You would.
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely, I would. Every
Where the
time.
hell are you taking a limo? Like,
If I fly anywhere and like an Uber is not available or it's too far of a walk, for
Right.
example, because some of those airports put the Ubers like way out in the boonies. And I'm
Right.
like, fuck this, I'm just gonna I'll get a limo. And the benefit of the limo is you know exactly how much it's gonna cost when you get it. You know?
you're right, because I took a limo in Toronto and he gave me the price. He goes, "Where are you going?" I go, "I don't know. It's here." Yep, here it is.
And it's not that more expensive than what a taxi or an Uber would be.
No, and it smells a lot better.
Exactly. You don't get some of the BO smell, right?
You know what? It was mostly the stale whatever was in the back seat. A lot of Subway. You smell a lot
Yep.
of Subway in a
Subway.
cab, and you know
Yeah.
the Subway hasn't been in there a while. And
Yeah.
if there was a recognizable smell that there are smells that turn you off, right?
Yeah, I see. A lot of cabs, I think they almost smell like despair and giving up. You know,
Okay,
like
I'm not just cabs, but if you hop into a car, you hop into someone's car.
Yeah.
There is one smell, and I don't even know what exactly they had, but there is a very Subway. if there was a smell that I would not want to have in a vehicle ever, it's Subway. Because Subway, whatever that combination
Yep.
is, it stays in the wrapper, that stays in the car, that makes the car smell like Subway. And not that
I
I don't like
think
Subway. Subway's fine. If I feel like eating a loaf of bread for lunch, I'll
yeah.
have Subway.
Well, it's arguably bread, right? It's almost like a cake, right?
It's you're right.
Like
Eating a loaf of bread is like eating a cake.
and it's probably more along those lines because the bread is definitely made different from standard bread, which is why they had the big scandal. Do you remember that one?
With
They had the same
the
ingredient that they put into yoga mats.
into what?
Into yoga mats, yeah,
In their
because
bread?
in their bread. So what it was, it was actually blown up really badly. It was kind of an unfair scandal because they used like a food safe additive that made bubbles in the bread, so it
Right.
made it nice and fluffy, right? Well, I
Right.
mean, logically, yoga mats need to be fluffy too, so they just started putting that additive into the yoga mats, okay, to create bubbles.
I don't want to fact check you on this, but it sounds
Do
crazy
it.
enough that
Go
it's
for it. Go for it. Fact check it.
oh hey, here's the thing. I'm gonna use this to go into another thing. People that don't trust AI.
Yeah.
I use AI more than Google now.
Yes. Well, Google was a kind of rudimentary form of AI, right? Really?
Right. And Google is catching up to the AIs that are out there and they're launching a
Yep.
new one. But people, I don't trust AI. Really? How many times do you watch Terminator 2? I get it. But
Yeah.
I would rather use AI. What are we asking? Did Subway have yoga mat
Stuff in it. Yeah. Yoga mat ingredients or stuff. The same ingredients as yoga mats.
in their bread? If this is real, did Subway have yoga mat ingredients in their bread? Wow, Quentin, learn how to spell ingredients. Subway used to include azodicarbamide, a chemical commonly found in yoga mats and shoe soles in its bread as dough conditioner.
Right.
After public backlash, they removed the ingredient in 2014. While the chemical was FDA approved for food use, concerns about potential health risks led to its removal.
Yep.
Do you want to hear about other surprising food ingredients?
Yeah.
This is what I love about AI.
How
Yes,
about their
I like.
meat?
What the hell else have we been eating?
Yeah. Ask what the biggest food scandal is in history or recent history.
What's asumi? Is that a flavor?
Sumi?
Umami.
Umami. Yeah, it's like savory.
Okay, what does that come from?
Well, it's fermentation of seaweed or
Anchovies.
soybeans. Anchovies. Okay.
That's in Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, it is. The anchovies are actually in Worcestershire sauce.
How do you say it? Worcestershire.
Worcestershire
It's Worcestershire. Wash your sister sauce.
Wash your sister sauce. Worcestershire.
Tiny amounts of insect fragments and even rodent hairs in peanut butter. I'll eat it anyway. MSG in canned
I'll give it a
soups.
pass. Yeah.
Carmine in red dyed chocolates. The food coloring in some chocolates comes from crushed insects. And rennet in cheese. Many cheeses, including Parmesan, are made with rennet, an enzyme taken from the stomach lining of calves. Yum, yum, yum. I'll eat it.
Those are historic, a lot of those, right?
They are. But again, I only eat this. I only eat that. Do you though? Like, if you're a vegetarian, are you?
So there's vegetarian. What do you think of vegetarianism compared to carnivore?
Okay, well,
Because they're either ends of the spectrum.
Okay, as someone who has more, I would lean more towards carnivore. It's insane to eat nothing but meat.
I'd agree. Yep.
Just like if you just feel like sitting on the toilet lost, eat nothing but vegetables.
Well, exactly, right?
And here we go again. I don't want to eat meat. I'm never going to eat meat. Okay, fine. Don't eat meat. So why are you trying to make your vegetables? Why are you trying to make meat things
look like vegetables and taste like vegetables?
Right. If you want a burger, I'm sorry, that's reserved for the people that are eating meat.
Yeah,
but I
exactly.
really want a burger. No, you don't, because you're
No, you
vegetarian.
don't.
You don't really
You
want a
can't
burger.
have that. You gave up that right.
Exactly. You gave up the right to eat the burger when you decide you're not going to eat meat anymore.
You don't get meat flavored vegetables because you just have a craving for meat, but it's like, no, I don't, right? So
Right.
it's well, what are you gonna do when people are like, I'm craving human flesh, but I'm not gonna partake in that one. So I get some human flesh flavored vegetables, right?
Could you imagine?
Then it's not. Then it's okay, right?
What do you think the closest thing to that would be in a vegetable?
To flesh,
Yeah. So if pig flesh is the closest to human flesh,
okay,
here's the thing: they've never tried to.
mushrooms.
Yeah, gross that you think that, but yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, like get a portobello mushroom, and people put them on burgers.
Yeah, that's sad. I'd cry while eating that burger.
Well, no, to me that's okay because it's like you're eating a mushroom burger.
Mm.
That's
No, no,
okay.
no. You're eating a mushroom in a bun. That's not a mushroom burger.
That's different. That's different. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not a hamburger, right? It's a mushroom burger, right?
It's just
But
a mushroom between two in a bun.
so did I ever tell you about the story when we went to an all vegan burger place?
Oh God. Okay. No, you
Okay.
haven't, but please do.
Okay. So a bunch of us went over to this all vegan burger place, and we get all the food, and we know it's all vegan, and we're okay with that because we wanted to try it, right?
Right.
So we're sitting there eating, and another one of our friends walks in, and this guy, like, he's a good guy. He's basically a grumpy Republican, right? So it's like, what are you having for lunch, buddy? Meat
Of
and
course.
whiskey, right? And it's like, okay. And he walks in, and we're like, what? What's going on? Is he okay? Maybe he's sick, right? So we're really
Okay.
concerned. So he gets his order. He comes, he's got a big smile on his face. He sits down, and he goes, oh, I've wanted to eat here forever. I drive by this place all the time, and he's really excited to check it out. And we're like,
Right.
you okay, buddy? And he's like, oh, yeah, this would be great. It's fantastic. I'm like, you sure? Okay. So he bites into this burger, and it's like a shiitake mushroom, chopped up mushroom burger.
Sure.
He starts chewing. He's like, oh, oh. And we're like, what's wrong? He's like, this tastes like spackle.
Yeah, because it's not just because it slightly has the texture of what you're going for does not mean it's going to
Yeah.
taste like what you wanted it to taste like.
So I look at him, I'm like, well, yeah, it's a vegetarian burger joint. And he looks at me and goes, what? Who the hell would even do that? I was like, well, this place, everything here is plant based. And he was like, this. He was just seriously broken and jarred because he'd been wanting to come to this place for a long time.
Now, here's the thing that gets me about people that have certain diets that they is it just me or some people believe they're like higher up on the food chain because they're a this or they're a that.
More enlightened or better people, and like
Yeah,
whatever.
like there's
I don't eat this or I don't eat that, and it's like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But it's what's like, I don't care, whatever, right?
it's
Just
like
don't look down on me for having a burger.
right, but it's like there's two types of people in the world, and I'll judge you based on this. And you know what? I'm allowed to. There are people that drink their coffee black,
Yeah.
and there are people that make sure everybody knows they drink their coffee black.
Yeah. Which one
Like,
are you?
dude, I like a little shot of cream and some Splenda in my coffee for the
Okay.
first cup, and then I top that thing up for the rest of the morning, and it's black by the time I'm done.
Yeah.
But the people that drink their coffee black,
No.
I drink it black.
No.
Like I was going to Winnipeg with a buddy, and we pulled in, and he's very much a black coffee drinker. Like I drink my coffee black. Everybody needs to know this. And
Well, I mean, they ask when they ask what you want in the coffee.
no. He goes, yeah. He goes, I'll have a large black coffee. He goes, and you? I go, 2 Splenda, 2 cream, and a large coffee. He goes,
Yeah.
she'll have 2 Splenda, 2 cream. Like, you son of a bitch. Right. So you don't mind you, I get it. I mean, I like coffee. I really do. Sometimes
Yeah,
I like it black.
I always drink it black.
I bet you do. I like, you know what coffee I like black? Cold coffee. If it's sitting in the
Cold
pot
coffee.
and I just want to drink it.
I'll have what she's having, I guess. So it's okay with that.
Mhm.
I don't mind a cold coffee.
I just drink it to finish the pot because I am a cheap Ukrainian. I don't like throwing things out.
Well, that's fair. What kind of coffee do you drink, though?
Oh Christ! Are you a fancy coffee drinker? Of
No,
course you are.
but you do get the people who are like Tim Hortons is the big splurge. And you get the ones who are like the no name as low as I can get because I'm going to drink bucket loads of it anyways. And then you get the higher levels of the higher echelons of whatever price points, up into like there was a coffee I was looking at was called a Cock Punch coffee.
Jesus, of
So
course it is.
yeah,
I have we have the Nabob Organic. Kelsey likes it. Here's the problem I've got with that. I don't care. I'll buy Folgers. I'll buy whatever. The odd time I'll buy like Black Rifle, or I'll buy a nice one from Forbidden Flavors.
Yep.
But for the most part, pot coffee, I don't care. And she's particular to this one coffee that's this Nabob Organic, the big green can.
But from the pods or something, or
no, we actually brew it. We don't. Yeah, we have a Keurig, but
you don't kill the planet.
No,
you don't kill the planet.
No, we do it slower. But here's my thing with that. She's a creamer drinker.
Oh yeah.
So does it really matter what coffee you're drinking?
Not at all. At that point in time, it's like you're basically putting sweetened guar gum into your body. So I mean, it doesn't
that stuff doesn't go bad.
Drink.
Like we'll put a jug of that in the camper, and it's good for a month.
It just separates. That's all that happens. And then people just like that more because you shake it up, right? Like, oh
yeah. Do you like coffee or do you like hot creamer?
No, exactly. Well, okay. Here, look at it this way. Even when you were growing up, what was considered normal coffee? Because even buying grounds, you didn't go to Starbucks. You didn't get any of those fancy coffees.
I knew nobody that ground their own beans.
Right? Now, like that wasn't even a thing. I was like, who? Like, they cut their beans? I thought there was a powder that just sort of grew on the ground, right? You shovel it up, right?
And there are people that will swear by grinding their beans. Here's my problem. Did I have a coffee grinder at one time? Sure.
We all did.
Did I need
better that way, right?
Sure. It really brings it out. Do I need to have what sounds like a construction site in my kitchen first thing in the morning when people are trying to sleep? No. And I don't even need to hear that first thing in the morning.
No, it's no fun. I don't like hearing that whining or worse, trying to hand grind those things. Like,
my mother had one of those.
Oh, what a that's why she has the Babas have the big arms, right?
Oh, knuckles. They could, right? There's not a jar they couldn't open.
Right? It's worried about crushing it more than anything. You get fingerprints inside the metal.
Exactly.
More than anything.
They Superman that thing and just pop it off.
Just twist it right off, right?
You want to hear a stock tip? I got one today.
Shoot.
Okay. And this is a guy, and I bought some. Like I
Did
bought
you?
them. Yes.
Okay. Which this one?
So it was a guy who's not on the inside, but he's in the industry. And remember we talked about Ozempic?
Yep.
Okay. So Ozempic is a whatever you want to call it. Right. So there's a lab they're doing the tests, the testing in Australia right now.
Yeah.
And it's gonna hit. Now these shares are $1.05 a share USD. And it's Lex. LEXX. They have developed a oral version of that'll be cheaper.
Right.
And he's expecting this thing to go up to like $30-$40 a share.
Wow.
So Lex, LEXX. Look into it.
Because here's the tariffs get it, right?
You can say tariffs about everything. I mean, it's doing a lot to a lot of things. I think it's going to affect the film industry in Canada for sure. Yep. It's going to affect a lot of things. But when you talk about companies down in the States, and if it's the easy button, as people like Ozempic is the easy button. You're frozen for a bit.
I'm still there.
If Ozempic is the easy button, and now you don't have to take a needle to do it, guess what? It's going to sell. So they're expecting this thing to be out to consumers by January.
So is this like a new company or what is it?
No.
No, it's pretty old actually. It's existing.
Are you looking it up? Lexaria.
Yeah, I've got it right now.
Lexaria Bioscience.
Let's say they've had a pretty rough few years. That's for sure.
They have, but these are the guys that are doing the oral version of your Ozempic. So do it what you will. I bought some because I thought, it's cheap.
Well, now. It's $1 a share, so like it's
throw a couple $100 at it.
Penny stocks, essentially.
Exactly. Like I've got penny stocks. I've got cryptos that I am waiting on, and one day it's going to hit, and
Someday,
it's not today.
you could pass it down to your kids and be like, someday this will all be
Oh,
yours.
exactly.
93 cents.
No, I think that there's again, it's sort of like saying I only go with the stock market, I won't go with crypto. Well, here's the thing.
Yep.
I know a guy that makes a
Well,
tremendous
that's the
amount of
thing.
money betting on sports. Tremendous amount of money.
Yeah.
But he understands what
Yep.
he is betting on. He knows the stats, he does it all, he gets it. And if you invest in something that you have no idea what you're investing in, what's the difference between
Yep.
that and betting on a hockey game?
It's gambling. It's just completely
It's all gambling, but we call it
Yep.
investing.
We like to think that we can educate ourselves further. We're going to know some of the market trends and things like that. And like I've talked to like lots of people where we talk cryptocurrency, and people go, "Well, I don't really want to buy something that I don't understand." I'm like, "Okay, tell me how an RSP works."
They don't know.
And it's like, well, a lot of people don't know that either. Tell me how a mutual fund works. Tell me any of those financial things, and they're like, "Well, I don't really know that either." It's like, okay, so you don't get to use it as an argument unless you're just not saving anything at all.
Yeah, and you got to be very careful with that, because people will look for the easy button when it comes to wealth
Yep.
and to investing. And if you go with what's
Yep.
hot right now, like GameStop, God, how many people made money on GameStop? Did you make money on GameStop? Attaboy. But why? Because you
Yeah,
paid
well,
attention to it. You knew what it was.
yeah, I knew like well, same thing as Doge. I made good money on Doge.
Dude, my Doge, your Doge. Do you have Doge?
Not anymore. No, I don't. I've got some Shiba.
Okay, I've got a pile of Shiba, but my Doge,
yeah, like 200 billion or something.
I've got a
like
lot.
that.
So my
Yeah.
Doge went up 125.77% in the last couple weeks.
I believe it. What's it at now? It hasn't broken $1. Has it?
Doge? Oh, it's 31 cents a share.
31
31
cents.
cents a
Okay.
coin.
I sold it with something like, I think it was like 79 or 81 cents or something
Yeah.
like that. That's when I got
Even my
rid of it.
Pepe went up like 70% and went down to 38%. So again, you got to play the long game, put it in there. And but again, people that say that I won't invest in
Hope for
this,
the best.
well, what do you know what you're investing in? Like I invested in a silver mine years ago. It did nothing, and suddenly it popped up. You got to be patient. Wait. Consider.
Do you have a tangible silver? Do you have or tangible gold or anything like
No,
that?
I never bought the physical. What are you going to do with it? Really? What are you going to do with it?
I give it to my kids to play with. They play with it. Well, you can trade it in. You take it to a pawn shop or wherever, or a goldsmith, and you can sell it there too.
Yeah. I trust the digital part of it. Like, just let it all be out there in the cloud. Let someone else worry about it. Why?
Yep. Unless all the cloud disappears.
That'll never happen. What's the chances of that?
But if it does happen, guess what? Nothing's going to help you right now. If everything disappears, you're out.
And this goes again to the hypocrisy of the world right now. People say, I don't trust big corporations, yet they order off Amazon every day. Or Temu or Costco.
Oh God, Temu's the worst. People are just like, oh yeah, I get stuff there all the time because it's so cheap. And it's like, look, if you're not paying for a product, then you're the product.
You are correct. And the problem is, I ordered something off Temu for the first time like a month ago.
Oh, you got called in. There you go.
It was a cover for the. We have a glass top stove, so it's a silicone cover, so you can use it as like extra counter space, and it fits, and it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. Here's the problem:
Yep.
you order that, and then suddenly you're getting. It's like gambling. They send you the thing, spin the wheel, and you just won.
Yep.
So many credits of free.
You read the small prints. If you read the small credits, it'll say every single one wins on this on the max.
Are you saying that I'm not special? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think that's why people get hooked on Temu, is because
no, you're still special. Don't worry, you're special.
I'm unique, just like everybody else. But when it comes to stuff like Temu, it's like a gambling site, because it's like, oh, I won this. Oh, I can get this for free. Pick 5 items and they're all free. But wait a minute.
That's where it's
right.
dangerous.
But then you have to buy a certain amount so you get free shipping and boom, 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 boom. This is why people get hooked on that shit. It's not like it's good.
Yep. No. just I've got to get more free stuff so I can get the free shipping.
And this is
or
where
whatever.
this is where guy math versus girl math comes into play.
Yeah, that's a dangerous thing. Like people's concepts of math turn to be very dangerous.
Right. However,
if I spend another $30, I'm going to get the free shipping. Well, how much is the shipping? 10. Okay, so you got to spend $30 to save 10. Well, yeah, if I'm saving $10, but you're spending
30. Like if you think that you're saving money, you're still spending money. Like if there's something that I want and it goes on sale, well, it's something that I was planning on
That's
buying
different.
anyway, so now it's a sale. If I'm buying it because
Yep.
it's on sale, I'm not exactly saving any money.
You're not as savvy as you.
Well, here's the
think you
thing:
are,
the things you
right?
need are never on sale when you need them.
Well, no. Well, I mean, you can be pretty intelligent with things. Like I got some like these clothes I got from that. What was that brand? What's it
Oh, those are the
called?
best T-shirts in the world.
Born. These are Born Primitive shirts. That's
and what are they made out of?
From the company Born Primitive. I don't know, but they're really loose and they're really comfy.
The tighter the shirt, the better for me. I'm that guy.
Yep. Well, I mean, like they fit really form fitting, but they're like
holy
really
shit!
light,
I didn't realize. I didn't think I had
know?
tickets to the gun show. What the hell? It was free.
Yeah, the front row
Free today.
seats.
No, we have.
Well, like unlike you, I can get fatter because I'm not trying to. Well, I'm starting to lose some weight now. Whereas you've been having a kind of a run at it for like the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 months, man. It's been 6 months.
6 months? Oh, that's the longest 6 weeks ever.
And you know what? I went for a run, like outside. Now, normally I'm on the treadmill.
And how
it's different. It's different.
It's pretty hard, eh?
So my whole thing is, can I do what I need to do? Yes. It's getting your lung capacity to the point where you're not. This is all endurance. I have what are we at? I have 4 weeks to get my endurance up to where I need it to be.
Right. So if you start using that weighted vest,
yeah. However, so again, everybody's going to tell you different things. One guy says, "Well, do you really want that on your joints?" Yeah, I do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you definitely do.
So,
yeah, that's because it helps with the rejuvenation.
Right. So I think what I need to do is just wear the weighted vest, and for whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
Not at work, and not when I'm showing houses. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Right. Just showing up like
I'll be up there in a second, guys. I got to get up these stairs.
Yeah. Hold on. I got to take a breather here. This is a long walk up the driveway.
Well, the weighted vest, I thought 20 pounds was nothing, but the reality is 20 pounds it's enough. I was going to buy a 70-pound vest. Like, what the hell was I thinking? Why would you have a 70-pound vest?
Because you don't really think 70 pounds is heavy. Like that's the thing. You're working out, you put this on, and you can pick up 70 pounds. You're like, okay, this will be distributed around my body. It'll make it more challenging. But I mean, I can squat 200 pounds. So what's 70 pounds, right? It's nothing, right? And you put it on, and you're like, wow, it's just like the worst hug ever.
It is the worst hug ever. It's like when your kid's hanging off you, and you're like, get off me for a minute, like stop. Yeah. But they don't.
Yeah. And that's now visualize trying to
run
like that.
And that's exactly what it is. Which whatever I got to do, I'm going to do it. Going back to that, let's look at what we started talking about here. I don't need to go to a gym. I don't have time to go to a gym. Well, you have you're about 80 pounds overweight, and you're telling me you don't have an hour. I'd be willing to put a nickel or $1 or $100 that you would spend 3 hours sitting on your ass watching a hockey game or a football game.
Yep.
So take an hour.
No. Just do something, walk to the gym, do something, go away.
One of the best phrases or groups of words that I saw that I read is this guy said, he goes, it's interesting how people will say that I would die for my family. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you eat healthy for your family? Would you exercise for your family?
Yeah, would you actually
lose weight for your family? Would you stop drinking for your family? Would you do all these other things for your family? Oh no, but you would die. Well, you're probably going to.
Yeah, don't worry. That's coming.
Oh, hey,
you're not not being special by saying you're going to die for the family. It's like that's an expectation.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just going to happen whether you like it or not.
Eventually, I'm going to, but I'd like to live there as long as I can. Oh, we got a couple people like, who's there? Pebbles and Polar Bear. Hey guys, how's it going? We are
So here's here's a double standard with the
Mhm.
gym. Okay, so like we've seen all like the workouts where the guys are doing like what was it? What was it, like Insanity or
Yeah,
P90X and all those things, the high intensity interval
that's what I've been
training,
doing.
right? And people are like, they're like that's I hate that stuff personally. It's
Do it
not
with
for
a
me at
weighted
all,
vest on.
right?
You'll hate yourself for a while. Like I was hurting for a bit.
Oh, I hate myself where I hate myself enough on a daily basis. I don't need
You gotta
help
let
with
that hate
that,
flow, my
right?
friend.
Um, yeah. But the thing is, most of those guys get those physiques not by doing the hit workouts, but by doing standard bodybuilding routines. Like, sure, they do some of that stuff, but that's not exclusively what they do. So we get a lot of people getting into the hit workouts and they're doing it, 5 days a week, and inevitably they burn out and they're not getting the
Right.
results because they haven't really accessed a lot of the other things, the proper nutrition, the recovery process, or the simple fact that these hits are incredibly hard on your nervous system and it causes a lot of stress to the system.
I hear you. Trust me.
But they think, hey, this is what's supposed to be, right? Well, no, and that's why people hate it. They hate the gym because feels like such an awful process. Whereas now, what I'm doing, like with the dog crap workouts, like 45 minutes 3 times a week,
What? It,
simple,
you don't have to go hard. You don't have to go long. You just got to go hard. You know what I'm saying?
right?
Oh, Edmonton is
Yeah,
beating
that's what she
Dallas
said.
3-0. Is there a baseball game that I'm not aware
Oh,
of?
that's good. Yeah, golf,
It,
golf
does
actually.
Edmonton
So
have a golf team?
Edmonton
I know
has a
Winnipeg
golf
has a
team.
golf
Yeah,
team.
it's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So there's actually been a study that came out recently that said that if you're really busy, if you do one set to
Yeah.
failure with weights, like one set to full failure, you will build muscle. That's the old Mike Menzer style training, right?
I will. Do I go to failure? I go to failure on some things, but not lots. Arm day, I'll go till I can't lift it. Especially on
Yeah.
forearms. I've been really focusing on forearms and trying to get my grip strength up. So
Yep.
I'll go till my hands are just useless. Like I can barely tie a shoe.
It don't even work. Okay, bud. I'll let you out. And
Is
but
that your kid?
there's the thing is
Oh,
that's the
okay.
dog.
You should let your kid out though.
Most people don't really understand what failure is. And I was telling my wife about that today because like I had to do legs today. Okay.
I
Everyone
love
loves
legs. I'm a
and I
big
had to
leg guy.
do right. I had to do leg
Uh-huh.
press today. Okay. So you do the warm up, then I do three
Okay.
sets. Okay. So I said it was on the machine. So the weights are a little bit funny, but it was like 200
Mhm.
pounds on the machine. Okay.
You don't want to know
So
what mine
and
is.
pushing through it. Yeah, I know. But all the machines are different. There's the thing, right? Like if you like not on the actual like load up the plates, it was like on a weighted machine with cables and everything, right?
Oh, cables, Kate. I'm a plate guy. But yeah.
So yeah, I like the plates, and I would have done the plates, except somebody's using
Okay.
it, of course. Somebody's on there, 25 pounds on either side, right? And which is a crime, by the way. You should only put the 45s on that Halo machine right there. And that Halo machine only 45-pound
Dude,
plates,
my
right?
leg press is
That's how
just
it's
over
supposed
a
to be.
metric ton.
There we go,
So
right?
I mean, I've
There we
got
go.
that.
There we go. So I've got to do 200 pounds on this. And I was like, all right, that's not that bad. I was like, well, it's actually pretty tough on this machine. Just the angles or whatever it is. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. So the first one was like 8 reps. Second one was like 7 reps. Third set was 8 again. I pushed through it, and it was like that was maxed out. I couldn't do any more. Right. The last one was the Widowmaker.
What the
Okay.
hell's a widowmaker?
The Widowmaker is you take the same weight that you failed out on at 8
Right.
or whatever it was, and you have to do 20.
I
Okay.
think I could probably pump 20 at my lightest weight.
But when you do that with your heaviest weight,
Oh, the
right?
heaviest. I thought we failed.
The
Oh, okay,
heaviest
yeah.
weight. No, with the heaviest weight, the weight that you failed on. So it's going to be the heaviest weight that you can push for failure, right? And so you get through 6, and then like take a couple breaths, and 2 more, and 2 more, and 2 more. And that shows me that people don't know what failure is.
No.
Nobody
Failure
does.
is when you can barely walk and you just want to kill yourself. Pebbles
Exactly.
was
Prednisone. Uh-oh.
Jay, you're the health
Yep.
guy. Tell me why you shouldn't take
Yep.
prednisone.
Well, 50 milligrams is it's a good dose too. And yeah, it can definitely give you a lot of side effects because it's a steroid that affects your body. Like not one of the big muscle building ones, but it is good for fighting a lot of different infection and everything. Ton of energy and out of it. Yeah, it will definitely screw up a lot of things. I was on prednisone earlier this year. My lungs were seizing up
That's
on
not
me.
good.
Okay, partly from the from milk and whey. It was a inflammatory process in my lungs, so it's getting really inflamed and filling up with mucus.
You want to know how
Right.
dumb I am? I used to think the pregnant zone was for pregnant women.
Yeah,
I did.
that's prednisone. Yeah,
Like, why are you giving
So,
me this?
yeah. So this is but the prednisone is really hard in the system. I was tracking when I was on it. I was using my Whoop, that
Yeah, yeah.
biometric tracker I was using for a while, and it literally took my recovery and took it from like a 90 or 85 or something, and it bombed it down to like a 20% recovery for the days I was on prednisone.
Really?
And when I was tearing off, coming off of it, I could see my recovery improve every single day. So it's hard on the body.
Why do you take it? Why would you?
But
She had an ear infection, so I'm guessing it's ear
yeah,
infection.
yeah. Sometimes you have to take something that's going to knock that inflammation out.
Is there some
Knock out
ancient
that
Chinese
sickness,
medicine
the
like
disease.
chop up a rice grain into 10,000 pieces and eat one piece a day?
Tiger testicle, right?
Can you get that these days?
Powdered tiger testicle. Can
In
China?
China, you can get
I don't
anything.
know.
Like
I can really,
rhino
yeah,
horn is supposed to be
yeah,
really good for something.
yeah. So something. It makes something really horny. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I don't think I need that, but wouldn't hurt.
there's so here's the problem with a lot of that stuff. Okay, like a lot of those traditional folklore medications were very rare.
Right,
Okay, and so they were sought off and sought off after, and they were for nobility, royalty, right? So it's
right.
exclusivity. Okay, now you got a country that became very, very wealthy and people can afford it. So if you could afford the things that the rich people could have, wouldn't you want it too?
Isn't that the trap
Right?
that a lot of people are in right now? Everybody wants to have it.
It is. And like that's why smoking is such a big thing in China right now. So many people
Really?
smoke, which is so different from here. Like, yeah, smoking is, it's a big display of wealth,
Really?
money to burn, right? Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of the opposite here.
It is. If you're poor, you're smoking.
Not if you're
Like
poor, but it was I smoked years ago, and it's not the classiest thing to do. Like now, it's just really off-putting, and you don't see a lot of people doing it anymore.
it used to
It
be.
was socially
It's
acceptable.
Oh, you should be off-putting, right?
Yeah, it should be off-putting.
Yeah.
It's because I'm fat. I get it. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I know. Stop with the pudding. But I mean, we have all these things that people. Again, I don't trust big pharma, but I'll take whatever they
Right,
give me.
right.
Yeah, you gotta sometimes. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Like, we don't have the ability to go and find the right route to eventually heal us.
Yep.
But here's the thing: before there was medicine, you die because you had a splinter. That happened.
Yeah. I mean, you just now, like, back then, it was like rub some gravy on it and hope for the best, right?
Let let's rewind a tickle into our topic, because again, this is the hypocrisy or double standard that people want to talk about. But people
Yeah.
say that I do not trust the news, yet they get all the news off TikTok.
Yes.
Okay,
Which is the worst credible source of
what?
information.
How? Yeah, like again, it's like the
Yeah.
vegetarian, because actually there is one vegetarian meal that I'd say that when I order it, I feel like I'm better than everybody.
Yeah, rice,
No,
potatoes,
fala-
pierogies.
falafel. I don't mind falafel,
Oh, falafel. Yeah.
and I
Okay.
don't
Yeah.
know why I order it. It tastes good.
Or about hummus.
Hummus. I'll eat a lot of hummus. Hummus is
Yeah.
one of those things that I'll dig into and destroy the container.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we've got Kelsey and I were talking about this earlier. We were talking about the double standard between men and women. And
Oh, we're gonna go there, are we?
Pebbles,
Here
get
we
your
go.
keyboard fingers
Let's
ready.
make some enemies.
Now, would it be fair to say that Pebbles, since I believe you're the only lady in the house right now,
Thank goodness.
nobody wants a man to act like a man until it's time to do man shit?
Yep.
Would that be fair?
Yep.
Like,
It's very fair.
we're not, to be masculine apparently is toxic. We talked about this streams ago.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I'm the only one that's rooting around to get that squirrel out of the drain in the bathtub. And guess
Yeah.
who? And guess whose
Or-
it isn't? I'll give
Yeah,
you
exactly.
3 guesses.
It's not that
It's
guy.
not this guy.
Yeah. It's not that guy. No.
And
no. So here's
okay.
one for you then.
My wife.
Right? My wife.
Very nice.
So we in our house, we're all asleep,
Yeah.
right? And then we hear a crash and a breaking of glass.
Okay.
Right? And we kind of wake up. We're like, what the hell was that? And she's like, go see who that is, or go see what that was. And I was like,
now you want me to be
yeah,
tough.
yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Mhm.
and, which is fine. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll get up and you watch the kids, right? And get up there, and it was a picture frame film.
Yet if you said, "Hey, I'm really craving a
Right.
pie right now," she'd be like, "Get your own goddamn pie. What are you looking at me for?"
You know what? I don't think she would. I think she would probably say, "Yeah, I could use some pie
God
too."
bless my wife. She knows I don't like cake.
Yeah,
And when my birthday comes
yeah,
around, I will indulge in a pie. I will eat the
yep.
shit out of a pie.
The
I'll eat the whole
whole
goddamn
thing,
thing.
just a
I will just
spoon, and just
right in
eat
my
it.
face.
Yeah,
I will. The rum is hitting me.
yeah. She
Right?
said,
But I prefer pie over cake because cake almost seems like a obligation because you got a slab of this shit. Someone has to eat it.
nobody
No,
really
and at
likes
the office,
cake.
like,
Like you
you
kind
want
of
some
do,
cake? No, I don't want
but
some cake. And I'm the asshole because I don't want the cake.
you get a little piece.
But I'll guarantee you, if
That's
they had
about
a
it.
pie at the
Because that's
office,
it.
I'm a giver. Jesus shit, what are you talking about, Pebbles? Because I think because our conversation took a really weird turn there for a second.
Yeah,
But
here
I
we go. Yeah,
respect that, Pebbles. Whatever you mean, good
good
on
for
you.
you. Yeah,
You can eat the whole
yep.
pie. You
And
bet
that's
your
no.
ass I can eat the whole pie. And
Yeah,
so my birthday comes around and it's in the summer and I never have a birthday party because we'll get into that. I believe birthday parties are for children because they like clowns and balloons.
yeah,
Adults, I don't
yeah,
understand why anybody has a birthday party as an adult. Like, why?
yeah,
I'm another step closer to death. Why are we celebrating? Just leave me
yeah.
be.
That's why we're
Give me a
celebrating.
pie and let
One
me
more
sit
year
the hell
left.
down and
So yeah,
cry about it.
yeah.
But I
Just
will
leave
get a.
me in the shower with your
You know what?
pie.
Here's the thing: if there's a place to cry, it's in the shower. That's my favorite place to cry in the morning.
Yeah,
It makes me.
yeah, exactly. It washes
It
away the
does wash away
tears.
the
And
tears.
yeah, yeah,
Here's the thing: I prefer again. I don't like cake. I like pie. So I get a birthday pie, and I mean, I love I love Kelsey every day. But when a pie comes, when I get to
you
when
love
I
the
get to
pie more.
just eat a pie, I
Ah!
I
Get away.
when I get a birthday pie, it just warms my heart so much because she knows that a goddamn cake will just
Yeah.
piss me off. Although, what's the most lowbrow cake you can put in your mouth?
Lowbrow
It's the McCain
cake.
Deep and Delicious. That's correct. Right.
Absolutely, it is. That's
It is a
definitely it.
miracle of science, and that was the thing that you had in your freezer.
Yeah.
Why did you have it in your freezer? Why would you ever be?
Why was it in
It,
the freezer? And why did it taste exactly the
it
same when
didn't
it was
quite
frozen?
freeze and it didn't quite thaw, but it came. It came.
Right?
It used to come with a bucket of chicken.
Yes,
Right.
it did.
You get the bucket of
KFC. Yeah,
chicken.
back in
Everybody
the
had a
day.
piece of the cake,
Yeah.
and that son of a bitch was in the freezer. And you come back from the bar, and what are you going to have? We got some stale this and stale that. Hang on, there's a deep and delicious in the freezer, and you're going to eat that son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah. Can you still get buckets of chicken? Does it come in a bucket still?
Does rice still come in a little weird container? Well, then obviously keep the
Yes.
tradition alive, my Asian friend.
Well, I don't know if they did. It's not called Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore either.
Did they say that? Okay, there was a conspiracy theory that I remember that the
Yeah.
chickens don't actually have heads.
Oh,
Remember that one?
okay, yeah,
So they
yeah.
called it KFC, not Kentucky Fried Chicken.
So there's a reason why it's called not called Kentucky Fried
Why?
Chicken anymore, eh? Oh, you'll
Oh,
like
Christ.
this. Okay. Kentucky trademarked the name Kentucky.
Can you do that?
That's why there's no Kentucky Derby anymore.
What?
Because it's
Can
royalties
you wrap
now.
up China right now?
right?
Like take China.
I guess so. Well, I guess,
So you could trademark the name of a community?
there was something about that, like, okay, like, and also because KFC was like, like fried doesn't sound good. Why did Kentucky Fried
So
Chicken
if a person wanted to be a
change
real
its name?
asshole, they could take the name of a town, trademark that name as what it's used for, and get paid royalties
Yeah.
every time that community uses that name.
Oh, there was an urban legend. I thought it was
Okay, here we go.
while it was mostly a myth, it may have played a minor role in the decision. So
Well, the chickens were
that's
chickens?
interesting. No, on Kentucky being trademarked by the state because of royalties. So apparently that's a rumor, but It's only mostly a rumor.
Gotta love AI.
So there's some truth there.
So, okay, who's sitting there in chat? Only a couple of people. So, between pie and cake, what would you rather eat? Pie. Like someone, for Christ's sakes, if someone says
Pie, of
cake, I'm just
course.
gonna. It's like we're dealing with children. You must say cupcakes.
Yeah. Like, yeah. What? Okay, so what was with the whole cupcake phase?
Oh Christ! My kid Gage had a birthday party like 4 years ago, and they got the. Remember when cupcakes were these monstrosities of like
Oh yeah,
cupcake,
and
and
you peel them off and you flip them over and you
no,
turn
but
them
the
upside
icing
down,
was
right?
like this,
Oh, is it not 9
and
feet
they were
high?
charging
Yeah,
$7 a cup.
exactly.
Like, are these? What's so special about this bullshit? Well, of course, you bought them because
Yep,
you're a dad and you want to be the good parent. You're like, yeah, sure, have these things. And
yep,
guess what? Everybody eats some of the icing, throws the rest on the floor,
yep,
and then you got this little dry ass
yep.
cupcake.
And it
Wes,
turns into a freaking
holy shit.
Wes Campbell. How are you,
Wesley,
sir?
you know what? It has been a minute, my friend. I remember playing football.
So do you like cupcakes there, Wes?
Wes, if you had the choice between cake or strawberry rhubarb, oh, Jesus Christ, you're talking to me. You know what? I'll tell you what. A strawberry rhubarb pie?
Oh nope,
What?
nope, nope,
Why?
nope. Give me straight
Okay, yeah,
rhubarb.
rhubarb. But like if you're turning your nose up,
No, none of this strawberry shit. I don't want the sweetness of it. I want so rhubarby that it puckers up
I'll
your
name two
butthole
of the three
too.
pies I'll eat. One is a rhubarb pie, 100%. Strawberry can be in there, and I'm
Yeah,
happy with it. Or Saskatoon because that is a specialty.
Saskatoon is brilliant. That's a brilliant. That's a
It's a
prairie
prairie pie.
pie right there.
Now, name a cake
Yeah.
that's better than either of those, and tell me. Name a cake better than the strawberry rhubarb pie, the rhubarb
I
pie, or
can't.
the Saskatoon pie.
Doesn't happen.
No.
I can't. I can't think of a cake I would rather have. Like when it comes down to it, it's like cake is just cake. When it's pie, you're gonna get selections.
And everybody enjoys eating a pie. Like, have you ever
Yep.
seen somebody frowning while they're eating a pie?
Nobody ever says no to.
I don't eat a
apple
lot of
pie.
sweets either, Wes, but if we're talking about my birthday, and I'm not a cake guy, I think cake and birthday parties are stupid. But if I had the choice between a pie or cake or a tart and a muffin, I'd eat the tart.
Yep.
I
Yep.
respect
Absolutely.
the crust.
Absolutely.
There's that. When you have a perfect crust,
Yep. It takes work
right?
to make a crust.
A cake is
Holy,
like
that's a
pour this
skill
shit in a
set.
pan and
You know,
bake it.
like a cake is just. Yeah, exactly. There's no work there. You know, with a good pie, like oh my god, like even like pumpkin pie. There you go. But only at one
Ooh,
time of
you
the
know
year,
what?
right? That's the thing. It's the best pie, but only at one point in time of the year.
Pumpkin? You ever make it?
Yeah, you can't. Like you don't get pumpkin.
No,
You
but
don't
I
get
made a
pumpkin
sweet
pie
potato
in
pie, and
May.
that's pretty damn good. And it tastes just like a pumpkin pie.
Oh, that'd be pretty
Wes,
good.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, the classic, and you know why? Because Warrant made it so. The cherry pie is still, I will never say no to a cherry pie. And my grandmother,
Damn straight.
when I was
Yeah.
a kid, she used to come to visit. My grandparents come to visit. My grandmother made cherry tarts, and they were perfect in
Yeah.
every way. And you get in there and you get that one big cherry that pops. Perfection.
You know, like cherry pie is popular enough that they even named. They
Warren did it. They
song
knew what
about
they were
it,
doing.
right?
And
Yep.
I just like ice cream
Yep.
for my birthday. You know what? Everybody likes their treats. There's always room for ice
There's always
cream.
room for
And
ice cream,
okay,
you know.
we're going way off, but whatever. We're chatting. If you went to a
No, this
hard ice
fits
cream,
double standards. You know, people who think cakes are better
no one
than
has.
pies. That's a double standard because the
Nobody
cake
has said
people always
cake is
think they're
superior
right.
to pie. So I believe that we're proving something today. Although
Not a
you're
single one.
damn straight.
Yeah.
Who said apple
Yeah.
crisp? Fuck. Apple crisp or
Yeah,
cranberry?
that's actually pretty good. But apple crisp
It's
isn't
got a
really
crust
a pie.
though. It's not really a cake.
Yeah, but you don't put cheese on it. You don't
It's
usually
a
put
crisp
cheese
though.
on
It's
pie.
different. It's like
Yes,
homemade
it's
butter
different.
tarts.
It's like a
I'll tell you
lazy
what, my
pie.
mom made these things. She'd make ice cream pails full
Oh,
of
yeah,
butter tarts
yeah.
for Christmas, and I would dig into those sons of bitches, and there'd be like half a ice cream pail sitting there. She'd be like, "Who ate the butter tarts?"
Just smells like diabetes.
That's why I was
right
a fat
there.
kid growing up. I was a chubby sausage.
Yeah, butter tarts.
But
Yeah.
a crisp, I'll tell you what, a cranberry apple crisp will change your damn life.
No, no. How about a banana
But
cream?
yeah, your cream pies are another story. That's basically pudding with a
There you
crust,
go.
and I will eat a
Yeah,
coconut cream pie, a banana cream pie.
yeah.
Everybody
Everyone
loves
loves
a
a
cream
cream pie,
pie.
right? So yeah, everyone loves a cream
Everybody in
pie.
chat, what do you think about
So
cream pies? Are they? Would you take a cream pie over
yeah.
peach cobbler? God damn it, Wes, you're eating well.
God, like Jesus,
But Wes
man. Like what
travels.
the hell?
Wes
Eating like
travels
old
south,
prairie
and
food here. Yeah.
I think I don't know if he's still trucking or not. However, Wes was or is a trucker, and he has traveled south quite often. I bet you the best damn peach cobbler was everywhere but here.
Yeah. That would be fair. You go down to Atlanta or something, and you're
I
gonna get
made
some really good
I used to
stuff.
make my own
Georgia.
canned peaches, and I would do them. I would do ginger bourbon peaches, and then I would make those ginger bourbon
Yeah.
peaches into a ginger bourbon peach pie.
Millions of peaches.
Yeah, they're the
Yeah.
best.
Say it.
Was it
Say
millions of
it.
peaches, peaches for me? Millions of peaches,
for me.
peaches for
Yeah.
free.
Peaches for
But I
free.
would eat those. I would make them into and I would make it on on the smoker. I would make that ginger bourbon peach pie on the smoker,
Whoa, there we
just
go.
because you
Yep.
had to, because you have a smoker. Aaron is eating a whole banana cream pie.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't? Who hasn't?
I'll tell you what. There's not much left of a pie after I'm done. It's
I've got a great recipe for banana
Yep.
cream pie I got from my grandfather. People
Georgia.
think that's really weird. You know, they can't believe that my Chinese grandfather had
Don't they have bananas in
had a
China?
banana cream pie recipe. I don't know. Like, I never really thought about it. But I'm gonna say no. Same in parts. I don't know. Where do
Oh, but
bananas
Wes, were
even
you
grow?
bouncing in Georgia?
Was he just like working bouncing or just bouncing around?
Wes would have been a bouncer, I'm sure, at some point in time.
So yeah, bananas grow in China.
Really?
India is the largest banana producer in the world, and Ecuador is the world's #1 exporter.
Well, thing is, it's God damn it! Look at me trying to earn a living while I'm doing this. Talk about Chinese bananas for 2 seconds while yeah.
Chinese bananas? What do I
You're
know about
Chinese,
Chinese
you've eaten a banana.
bananas? That's not even this. That's not the same thing.
Sorry. Okay, there we go. Rude, but I got to make a living. So we've established that I'm no longer
Banana
a long haul
split,
retired. Came home for
Banana
local.
splits.
Oh, hey, there you go. You did it at a Montreal strip club?
Strip club in Montreal.
That would have been interesting.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Hey, Wes, I got a question for you. Since cash is sort of going away and we're tapping for a lot of things, this is the question that I'm sure dozens of people have wondered. How do you tip the stripper if you're doing it with debit? Is there a way? I didn't want to say that, Jayon. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to be PG here.
On the debit machine,
Where's the tap?
you
Do they
idiot.
just have a tap at the
What are you
stage?
thinking?
Do they have like a
Just
like
like
a
a QR
stick
code on their
that
butt.
you just with a square?
Yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know. But no, when you have oh
You throw a
Christ,
Bitcoin at
that's a
them.
$32,000. They have tap. Well, that makes sense.
They would have a square.
That makes
They would have
sense.
a square. That would make sense.
Here's the thing about strip clubs.
I
Again,
know.
God bless them, they're making a living. I've been to a strip club twice in my adult life. That's it.
That's it?
Once, because we had a buddy whose dad owned one downtown. No way, unless Venmo. Oh yeah, I guess they'd have their own Cash App. Once because we had a friend whose dad owned a strip club downtown in high school, and we got remember
Coolest
Sassy's?
dad ever, right?
Yeah. So
Ah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so we
I mean,
were
no, no.
16 high school kids, and we were allowed to go and
Yeah,
watch the Grey Cup game because we're a bunch of football players. We got to watch the Grey Cup game on that Sunday in Sassy's because they had a big screen. I remember watching it. Yeah, you're
right
looking past
by
the
the shower.
shower.
Right by the shower. Yeah.
Oh,
I
here
mean,
we
that's
go.
what I've heard.
And
Uh,
so there's that time, and nobody was working that day, but they were kind of hanging out, I guess, just there. We never really noticed they were there, but whatever. And I think maybe three times. No, so once when I was in high school, and then twice as a adult. Once I went for New Year's to the Keystone, and one other time, and I was like, wow, like I'm watching dreams die in front of me. I just couldn't do it. Sassy's, that's right. Claudio.
especially when you realize that's somebody's
Yeah,
daughter,
you know
right?
what?
So,
It's hey, you know what? Clear heels and some dance moves. I guess you can make $1. Like we couldn't make $1 doing that. I'll tell you that right now.
no, no. Well, I mean, maybe the audience you
No,
wouldn't want to
no,
be
I do have
appealing
a
to,
buddy
but
who's surprisingly a good friend of mine. He's a I've done 2 different film projects with. He's actually a sniper with the National Guard in the States, and he got looped into stripping for a bit, and now he's a pastor for the Marines. Yeah, great guy,
geez,
Adam. He's
that's
super cool,
kind of a full
but he
circle
was
there, right?
doing
So,
he was doing dance things for a while, and he'd come to town and do the odd thing. I'm like, oh yeah, let's hang out for a bit.
no, you can look at that as some weird, crazy double standards with how society has changed with with how they view it. Like when we were in high school, if we said she's going to be a stripper when she grows up, that was not a compliment. And now it's a life
OnlyFans has
ambition
done a
for
lot
some
for a lot of
people.
people, and the reality is, it's a multi-billion-dollar company that started.
Yeah,
How did it start,
yeah.
Jayon? Because you told me the
Why are
story. It
you
started with
asking
people
me?
sharing recipes.
Yeah, it was like cooking and everything, and then porn is really
Is it?
where it went up. How did
Is it
OnlyFans start?
actually okay? This is a dumb question. Is it porn, or is it just somebody in front of a camera?
Yes. So origins 2ME16, where creators could monetize their content directly
Should
through
we go?
fan subscriptions.
Like,
Inspire the frustrations
Could
of
we go
creators.
OnlyFans with this bullshit that we're doing?
Yep. We
No,
just probably
no. We
wouldn't get
get
along
like a dime.
people.
They pay
Yep.
us to stop doing it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna take our clothes
Yeah,
off
you want to
unless you
see
give us
this?
some
Trust me,
money.
there's nothing to see here. Not nothing that I want to look at. That's for goddamn sure. So
No. No. But I guess
it's
it's
a
a
huge
massive
industry,
industry now,
and
right?
again, do
Yep.
what you want to do. That's fine. Keep it over 21. That's it.
Yep. Oh, their OnlyFans announced it would ban sexually explicit content in 2021 due to pressure from the payment processors. There was a huge backlash, and the decision was reversed
Of
within a
course it was.
week.
Oh, Pebbles. Did you hear about the guy that was charged
Yep.
in Hamilton for what? Oh Christ! Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Is this attached to OnlyFans?
Or
Because I'm,
what?
if it's like gross, I don't think I want to get into it. But okay, tell us what he was charged with.
Oh, yeah. Hamilton man charged with SA may have contacted victims through dating
Jayon's
sites.
on top.
How does that guy get dates?
Dating sites have. I have a buddy who was on. Oh my god, what's the popular one? Plenty of Fish. No. What's the one where you're swiping Tinder? So
Tinder?
I had a buddy who was on Tinder, and now the only way to look at Tinder is to be a member of Tinder, and I sure as hell wasn't gonna do that because I'm a happily married man. So
You want some scandal? Just
so I
start a
grabbed his
start your
phone
own
and I said,
Tinder
"Can I
account,
look through
right?
this?" He says, "Yeah, go for it." And I'm swiping through it. You know how many people I saw on there that were married that I knew? Yeah. So I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
but here's the thing: if you're only one half of the couple, ballsy enough to have a Tinder account, you're the only person that's going to
Yeah.
see it, unless you got single friends. So I'm swiping this. I'm like, God, my God, he's married. She's married. She's married. She's married. I'm like, we grew up with this person. We know that she's married.
Now maybe they're all
Yeah,
swingers.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Yeah. Or just
Cheaters.
cheaters.
Like, just call it what it
One of
is.
the
If you're a
two.
cheater, you're a cheater. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
I was forced to order something from Edmonton. It was legal to sell. The drug that killed Michael Jackson.
Oh, it's a different one then.
Wasn't it fentanyl? Like, wasn't Michael Jackson being put on stuff to put him to sleep all the time?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, if you're at the point where you got to get a doctor to put you to sleep and wake you up in the morning, you need to make some better decisions in your life.
Yeah. Propofol. That's what he's surgical anesthetic. He's using a lorazepam and midazolam, benzos
Again,
basically. Administered propofol nightly.
Right. So
Nightly.
let's look at that. You got the person says, well, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, but I have a doctor that comes to make sure that I go to sleep every night and wake up in the morning. Again, we've got these.
Well, I mean, at least I guess he's sleeping, but I mean, think of the trauma he must have going through his life.
Michael Jackson had it all. I mean, the guy was a brilliant musician. I'll never deny that. He was amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had some shit going on in his head.
Oof,
He's doing this
there
to
is
his
definitely
partner.
some weird stuff going on.
Oh my God. Like, are we running out of decent people on the planet? Like, is that what's going on? Like, have we all just fallen
so.
off the edge? And this is where we are now?
Well, there's definitely some pretty insane things that have been going on for a lot of people. I think COVID just kind of pushed people over the edge of, being helpless and hopeless and lost.
Oh,
Right?
for sure. Okay. I'll say this out loud once. I think we need to stop using COVID as an excuse for our bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, let's look at the reality. COVID came in. I couldn't do what I was doing legally. I had spent a pile of money on a course to get a license to do something that was really hard to do when I got into it, because guess what? Nobody's letting in your house. And I have yet to bitch about COVID once.
Yeah. You know how many times I've had people come in and, seeing them for a treatment and ask them, like, what do you do for exercise? And say, well, I used to go to the gym, and then, COVID came around. And I was like, that was 5 years ago.
Read the article who's posting videos on porn websites. You know what? Wow. So this guy was posting that deviant bullshit on porn sites. Here's the problem. And we talked about this a few streams ago. The checks and balances for the porn industry for user-generated porn is this. You, Jay, Pebbles, everybody can become a verified uploader with just your ID. However,
sorry, one second.
There are.
Yes, I told you that a few times.
Are we going to witness something? It sounds like an adult.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, I don't work tomorrow. No.
Just say I love you, dear.
No. Quentin, I'm on a podcast.
No, she's welcome.
You're interrupting.
Any minute. She can come.
Leave.
She's just come and hang out. Where's going with this? So
we're talking about cream pies.
Yeah. Okay. So
banana cream pies.
Anybody can become a verified uploader, but there are very few checks and balances as to whether the people that are in your videos are of age or of consent. So this guy was doing something that there are really very few regulations on, and he got caught because obviously somebody reported him. Thank Christ they did. It is a sickening industry that I can go on a tirade for hours about how this thing has fallen from the point of studio porn, where you knew who was there, they were there, they're getting paid, you knew who they were, to this bullshit that has gotten and affected so many people, whether they're young, old, married, single, it doesn't matter. It has gotten to the point where it is out of control. So let's go.
But that's why OnlyFans was trying to, they were going to ban it all, because all the payment providers, that's how they were going after these companies, shut down their payments so that nobody.
That's how they tried to shut down Pornhub. Anymore. Actually, they were trying to get the major credit card companies to just stop allowing that, so it was starting to get paid with Bitcoin, and then it became um the legitimate site. However, it's like big pharma, big
Yeah.
tobacco. It is the hub of all the other ones. So
Yep.
it's disturbing. And like I said, we can get into that, but let's talk about fun stuff and things that people do that are bullshit for the rest of the show here.
Well, here's one for you. Okay. I remember years ago when I was like, must have been 18, 19 or something.
Okay.
I'm dating a girl, right? And we're not doing very good.
I
So
feel
we're
bad for you.
breaking up. Okay. So she goes, I just want to break.
That's
I'm
not
going
a
to move in
break.
with this
That's
other guy.
like you're being replaced.
And I was like, okay, okay. So she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, well, I don't think, just really don't think this is gonna work. I think we're kind of done. I don't want to be with you, right? And then she looks at me and she goes, why do you get to make all the decisions in our life?
Um,
That's a good double standard,
Talk
isn't
about
it? Eh?
dating double standards. Can you explain this to me? Why is it that when an older man dates a younger woman, he's judged, but if an older woman dates a younger man, she's not? Is that a double standard?
I guess it depends who you ask because it's kind of going the other way now too, a little bit, isn't it?
Wasn't Demi Moore dating someone that was like 30 years younger than her?
Yeah,
Right, but
like
he
Ashton
seems like a
Kutcher.
decent guy, and she seems like here's the thing, aged
But she was pretty freaking good for like a
Demi
60
Moore?
whatever year old. Well, she's got to be
At
what,
least.
60? Like, how old
I
is
don't
Demi
know.
Moore?
I'm guessing 62. That's my guess.
How old is Demi Moore? Okay, here we go. Let's find out.
Final for the hockey game is
Uh, she is 62
there we
as
go.
of today, May 23rd. She just had a
Not that I
birthday.
pay attention,
She
but
just
sometimes
had
I
a
know things.
birthday
Final for
today.
the hockey game was 3-0.
Yeah,
Now what happens? I don't understand. I don't understand this. Shouldn't this thing be done? Like it's summer. Why are they still playing hockey?
because
Yeah.
they can
What do
still
they got?
make money.
90 teams now? Like they got to settle this shit down.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like every time I see a new team, I'm like, oh, I've never heard of that team. How long have they been in? 15 years. I'm like, oh,
No,
I haven't paid
Edmonton beat
attention. I
Dallas. Now
guess.
the series is tied at 1-1. So who's winning? Oh, are they equal now?
Well, it's tough. Yeah,
So
they're equal.
here's my problem with here's my
You
problem
don't
with
play golf
sports.
very much, do you?
And again, people love it. I get it. But everybody was a Jets fan. Then the Jets lost. Now
Yeah.
everybody's an Oilers fan. Like if my team lost, I'd be done. Like screw it. I guess I'm done.
Well, they're cheering for the
Oh, but
Canadian
aren't more
teams.
Canadians playing in American teams than ever?
Yeah, well, there's a thing, right? How many Canadians are
Right.
playing
So
on
everybody needs something. Like I enjoy movies and films and TV shows, stuff like that. So whatever, I can't dedicate
Yep.
3 hours. How long does it take? Like how long is a game of hockey? A minute and a half or an hour and a
I
half?
well, it's less than a
No,
game
but
of
it's periods,
baseball,
right? So
that's
they
for
have three
sure.
periods, 4 periods. I'm such a
Yeah,
non guy. How many
3,
periods are in a hockey game? And how long are they? An hour?
3,
So it should take an hour to
20
play a
minutes
game of
each.
hockey.
Well, because be also has pauses in
Okay.
play, right?
So
So you probably look at a couple hours ish, maybe
three
more.
periods, 20 minutes period.
Yeah.
No, my gesture does. See, there you go. You're done. 20 minutes period, and there's 3 periods. So an hour plus commercials. So,
Yep. Commercials and the color and all
right.
the chatting and everything like
Oh,
that.
by the way,
Right?
watching a hockey game live sucks. Damn it. I'd rather, if I'm going to see it, I'd rather see it on TV where someone's explaining to me what the hell's going on. I don't know what the blue line, red line means.
Okay.
One of them is in the middle, and
Okay.
you can't shoot
Yep.
the puck.
Fair enough. Offside and
Offside's a
everything.
football
Yep.
term, I'm pretty sure. 20 minutes. Yeah. So, I mean, I can watch you know what I did watch for a bit? I watched NASCAR for a little while.
That's interesting. I never really liked NASCAR until I went to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, like the museum, and it was
Well, the thing
actually
is, you
about
have
this
to
really
watch. You have to
fascinating
pick a.
stuff.
You have to pick a driver. Once you pick the driver,
Yeah.
there's points, and as they lap, they get points, and that makes sense to me. Although, is it a sport?
Yeah.
It's a sport that I could probably do.
So what's really neat in the museum there, they had like cars throughout the history going around the whole museum, like just like the replicas of the cars, and they had the angle of inclination of the racetrack and how much it has changed over the years, right? And the steep curve is incredible on how fast they're
Right.
going. It was if you ever get a chance to go to Charlotte and check it out, if you like NASCAR, it is completely worth it. But do you know where NASCAR got started?
Yes, moonshine runners. And
Yes,
they would
yes,
hot
you got it.
they would mess with the suspension of their vehicles so they always look like they were driving the same, so they look stock. So when they weighted them down with booze,
Yeah.
they always look the same. And isn't that somehow moonshining was a crime at one time?
It is interesting, you know, the prohibition was weird. Like that's why speakeasies are so cool because people like to go back, kind of back in time and
Well, the
see
thing
what
is,
that sort of thing was like. The sneaky
like
little
I still
rooms
have
and
like
everything, right?
relatives that moonshine or they make it, but no one's buying it. Like
Yeah,
if you ever had it, it's not great. I've got a couple of jugs still here and it's not
yeah,
great. It'll do the job, trust me. But no one's
yeah,
buying this shit. But when there was a time when you were buying it and selling it, and because it was illegal, yeah, I get it. It was a crime. But no,
yeah,
we again that goes back to I don't drink, I just smoke a lot of drugs. Well, there was a time when it
yeah,
was illegal and it was kind of cool. And people were rebellious when they did it. Now nobody cares because there's like 80-year-old people doing it for their arthritis.
yeah. I don't smoke.
I
I
don't
use vape.
smoke, I just vape. There you go. I don't smoke, I just vape. That is I wish that kids actually had to try and smoke a cigarette.
Damn straight. You know, you're gonna vape.
Yeah.
Try this. This is a cigarette. You get through a pack of these
Right,
today,
and it
and
has to
then
be
you're
like
a
export
vegetarian.
A green, like the shit that'll just turn you
Yeah,
green death.
just damn the green death,
And I think
right?
that
Just the
I think I
nasty
was
stuff.
talking to Kelsey about this once. I said, you know what? The problem is you have it's too easy to try something and too dangerous to try any, other
Yeah,
things. Like when you have
yeah,
something that tastes like peaches and cream, and you're huffing on this stupid thing.
yeah.
No, have a cigarette where it burns going down and it sucks going up, and you
Yeah.
smell like an ashtray for a while, but you did it.
What was the first cigarette brand that
Player's
you had?
filter. Player's filter,
Oh,
and then I
really?
smoked
Okay.
Demorier King size for many
Oof.
years because that's what the old man smoked, and I would smoke. I was
See, I like the
Demorier King
Morier
size.
best back in the day.
Yeah, started with Player's
Yeah,
filter, went to
yeah.
Player's light, then went Demorier King size.
I wouldn't like. Is
What's
Demorier
that?
still a thing? Is like, are
I have
Demorier
no idea.
still a thing? Like, I haven't looked at
I haven't looked
cigarettes
at
for so
smokes.
long. If I decided to buy cigarettes, I wouldn't
Well,
even
they all
know
look the
what to
same
look
now.
at.
Green Death, Player's filter. Yeah, those were the hardcore shit.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure they're all the same.
yeah.
Like there were some that were gnarly, like menthol
Yeah.
was different.
Menthol was nasty. Yeah. You had Sportsman's, whatever the slightly
Players filter.
cheaper
My I had
version of
an uncle that
something,
used to
right?
smoke. Oh, s'mores no filters. I had an
Yeah,
uncle that used to
Sportsman's.
smoke
Yeah.
Players Plain, had no filter, and the guy
Oh,
like
yeah.
eventually had a bunch of cancer. Was like, I don't know why anybody want to suck this smoke through some goddamn tampon. He goes, fuck it. And, like he would smoke these things, and he sounded like horrible.
Through this box. I don't know
Well,
why
like
anyone
he
wants
was,
to
yeah,
smoke.
he smoked. And there's another thing they don't do anymore. Remember back when you'd have the guy that would that would scare kids out of smoking with a tracheotomy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
You'd
And they
smoke
would
through his
do that in
trach,
the gym and show us, hey, this is how
right?
your life could be if you smoke. They don't do that. They really
Yep.
need to bring in some people that have really
Yep.
screwed their lives up with drugs and say, hey, this is what can happen to you.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Yep. Yep. Oh, you bring one or two twitchy people who have done meth their whole life.
The person that's
Yeah,
like
that's
yelling
gonna
at their
scare
eggs at the
people.
breakfast table. Yeah, that's the person you want. Exactly that person.
Yep. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, I've never woken up and gone, today's the day. I'm gonna do meth.
No. No. Now
I don't know that's putting it at light a little bit, and I know people get upset when I joke about that. It's like, why are you upset that I'm making fun of
here's the
using an
thing, and
illegal
I
substance?
believe that I said this to somebody last week. I was sitting there with a couple people, and I said, "You know what's sad? That kids can't just try drugs like they used to." And I got this look. I'm like, "Well, think about it. we tried things very innocently as teenagers and young adults, but we could live to talk about it 30 years later or 20 years later. That's not a thing anymore. There's a chance you will die doing the things that you're trying to do. And that's where like the scary reefer madness and what else was there? Mushrooms, acid, hash. Right.
Cheech and
That's all
Chong
we
and
had.
everything, right?
And it wasn't that terrifying. Now,
Yeah.
holy shit. Like, I would hate to ever hear that our kids tried anything that's out there.
Oh, yeah. You know, like there's a good reason I'm okay with the cannabis, being able to get cannabis just like
Yeah.
at the store now. It's because there's no way do I want the kids to be buying it on the street and they get
No.
hooked up
And
on
it's not
that.
that it's not even the meth, it's the fentanyl that's in possibly the weed, possibly everything else.
That's even worse, right? It's like you just wake up and you're not addicted, you're just dead.
You're not addicted, you're just dead. But I mean, you're rolling the dice with something that is better chance you're done than okay. Like that would be like me saying, "Hey Jay, let's go
It's gonna cause
skydiving."
serious damage.
You sure? Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
want to go skydiving. Like that's a commitment. White Cross. What
Yeah.
the hell is
Yeah.
White Cross? Hang on. Before you type it, because it'll get flagged on chat.
White Cross?
I'm going to assume that White Cross is a drug. I'll look it up.
Good.
Thank God for AI. Is that a drug reference, Wes? Don't type it. Just say yes or no. White Cross. Doesn't say anything.
Dispensary.
AI didn't say anything on that one. But I mean, yeah.
Ministry.
It's funny. I barely use Google anymore. But I think that when you have people saying, well, I don't do this, I just do that. Again, that's kind of hypocritical because if you're altering the way your brain works, it doesn't matter if it's booze or drugs. Like one's not better than the other, one's not superior to the other. Like,
yep.
We've gotten to this point where we're justifying shitty behavior on a massive scale. And saying, well,
yes.
It's
yes. At least
it's not this. And that's nuts. Like we have people that are
Benny's. Okay.
That I haven't heard of that since high school. Do you remember
Popping
do you remember Family Ties when Alex was hooked on, I think it was speed?
Yeah.
I think it was ephedrine.
Yeah. It wasn't speed or anything. It was just like
a weight loss drug.
Or
a weight loss drug back in the 80s. He was all hyped up.
Yeah.
And that's back when they used. Yeah.
He went to the hospital.
They used to actually put that into the sitcoms we were watching to get people to not try this shit. And they stopped it. Like you barely hear anything like that anymore. Like, do they even touch on that in any show that anybody's watching at all? Ever?
I think it's just so commonplace. You can get every cop movie where there's like some meth head or gets arrested, but it doesn't have the shock appeal. Remember like the movie Basketball Diaries?
Yeah.
Like, that one was like, wow, okay. See how people would just really go bad, right? Starting with like huffing gasoline and everything. Like, who thinks that's a good idea?
Hey, you get a little buzz off it, I guess. Effies. Here's the thing about Effies. Ephedrine, caffeine, and aspirin. I believe.
Yeah.
That was
best fat loss stack ever.
That was the fat loss stack, and you had to like ask for it at the supplement store. Like, hey, you got any Effies back there? And you got caffeine pills? I'll take them both.
Yep.
And I don't even know if it did anything.
It did. It sure did. Yep. There's a whole bunch of science behind it, and people tried to make it better. So there was some really interesting supplements that came out in like the late 90s, early 2000s that were rather questionable that worked very well for weight loss. Like you'd wake up lighter than when you went to bed.
I can do that by eating a lot of fiber. Pebbles, you're wondering what I'm drinking? This is Dead Man's Fingers. It is I just picked it up today. It's a pineapple rum, and it is so smooth and tastes like summer. It is phenomenal. And I got
But
it
at least it's not pot.
but at least it's not heroin. But that's
Yeah,
I don't think that's
good
even popular
times.
anymore.
Heroin?
Yeah.
Probably not as
It
much.
seems like a lot of work.
Oh, yeah,
Like, you
tying
need
around and
Tools and stuff. And I would say that the most extreme thing that I back in the day would have been mushrooms.
yeah, that's not even extreme anymore.
No, but I still remember I dated this girl for a minute, and she brought a bag of mushrooms, and we went and saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
Oh, that'd be the worst thing to see.
at the theater, and it was all fine until you're in the theater and you're kind of it's a lot to take in.
You're tripping,
Yeah.
a little bit like.
But then you leave the safety of the theater and you go to that big open space where the
Yeah.
like the
Was it the
concessions are.
Johnny Depp version?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah. And that was years ago. I don't even know how long ago that movie came out. But then here's the thing about that is you can't like get your shit together like you can maybe with drinking. But we had to get home.
Yeah.
And somehow I got my shit together and we drove back home and back to my place, which was up on the
Yeah.
hill at the time.
Yeah. Follow
And
the little lines all the way up, eh?
hang on. There was a thunderstorm that night. And we got back and then we finished the other half, the bag of those mushrooms, and watched Sin City.
Oh, that's you're picking
Right.
good ones for a mushroom trip.
Right. So, but here's the thing. That's the last time I did it. And that's got to be 20 plus, 25 years ago. Was it dumb? Yeah. Was it fun? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I do it again? No. Did I live to talk about it? Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was a different, the music scene. Jesus Christ. I'll tell you what, I haven't watched that movie since, but I'm pretty sure the Oompa Loompas messed me up for a while.
Yeah.
But that was it.
That messed me up. I was sober. Dude,
Right.
like that movie, it just like makes no sense.
But the funny thing is, there's one guy. One guy played all the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're like, what's going on here?
Here's the thing. You did this stuff when you were younger, and it was a dumb sure. Did you have fun? Absolutely. Did you live to talk about it again? Yes.
Yeah.
We had things that
It's
were
a cautionary tale, really.
Yeah. So this is again where the fact that we've done some stuff, we've seen some stuff, we've met some people. At least I know that when the day comes that our kids decide they're going to ask us questions about this shit, I can have real experience. Say, don't, do not, and here's why. Where if our parents would have had this conversation with us, like, dude, you were a farmer north of Dauphin. You've never done any of this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I do believe that there's something to be said for the fact that we did some shit that was not right.
Yeah. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
But for some people, it made them dumber, lazier, and very unemployable. Yeah. However, I think that if at least our kids won't be able to call bullshit on us.
Yep. What do you know? Well, I know this.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
I know you don't want to watch an Oompa Loompa when you're on shrooms, that's for sure.
But here, this is what I never understood about modern drugs. High to me is not weed.
No.
High to me is not any of these other things. Like mushrooms, it's something.
Yes.
But I've never understood how anybody considered anything else to be a high.
Yeah.
Like drinking is just chills you out. And I think weed does the same thing. But if you really want to, if you're going to experience some shit, I don't think it's going to happen with these things that are out there right now.
Have you seen that, Seth Rogen's movie, about Hollywood?
It's a series.
Yeah, have you seen? Is it a series? Okay, and they're at the party, and like she's eating chocolates, and
it's 7 grams of mushrooms per chocolate.
7 grams of Don't eat more than one. I'll eat as many as I want.
So, don't eat too many chocolates. What do you doing? Tell me how many chocolates I can eat. I can eat as many chocolates as I want. They're all. That's Hollywood for you.
Yep, it
I
is.
mean,
It's true.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
No, I think
big
that
times.
we've I think that when people say that if you put yourself on some sort of high horse because you've chosen this over this,
You're getting yourself in some hot water because everybody's going to have a different opinion on that.
you are like, again, if you said you're a vegetarian, be a vegetarian. I don't give a shit. Be a vegetarian. However, nice leather shoes, by the way, there is that bit of hypocrisy that comes when you won't eat it, but you'll kill it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
No, I see what you mean. Yep. Yep. You get the vegans wearing leather, right?
And I wonder how many like true vegetarians are driving quite nice cars with leather interiors.
Well, that's the thing. Well, if you really think about it, what's it with this vegan leather? You mean plastic?
Plastic. Yet they're probably environmentalists, and now you have
Right.
a petroleum product that you're wearing.
Like, what the heck? Like, when did this become a legitimate thing that we're going to start calling it, make up this thing and call it something new just because we can, right?
Could you imagine for a second if we just said, you know what, the byproduct of eating a cow is that there's a hide left behind.
Yeah.
Right. So what's happened to all these hides that were at one time utilized for leather jackets, leather everything?
Yep. Yep.
Are they throwing them out? Because that seems awful wasteful.
Yeah, we kind of need it. We really need it. Like, it's otherwise it's a waste. It's a complete
Thanks,
waste.
Adam.
Life experiences, yeah, those are the best.
Our life experiences were, and I've been going through like some stuff, good stuff, but going through my life experiences, trying to figure out how my life experiences could be utilized for other things, right? And the more I rewind and really dig into it, I'm like, holy shit, I have done some shit, seen some shit, met some people, done a lot of stuff. And am I better for it? There's bruises and scars.
Well, I mean, I would say that's growth. That's a definite pattern of growth, right?
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, if you don't learn from anything, then I believe that the fact that I tripped and fell numerous times in my life makes me a better person as I grow up and grow older and grow wiser, if you want to call it. But the people that continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again and bitch about everything else except for them, like, look in the mirror. The reality is the problem is the person who's causing the problems. Like, I am the only voice in my head.
Yeah, you're still stuck in that loop. You have not broken free of that, and you're going to be doomed to repeat it unless you start learning something from it.
Yeah, and we will point this finger at everybody else and say, well, it's not fair because of this. Well, could you have done anything to change it? Maybe.
Well, it's a lot easier that way.
And there are two stages in life that people have. Everybody has what they call the fuck you moment and the fuck this moment. Have you ever heard of that?
Yep. I haven't. No.
You've heard those?
Enlighten me on that one.
So the fuck you moment is where you're just done with the people that you believe are the problem. Okay?
Yep.
And you start pushing away the people that you believe they're the problem. The fuck this moment is when you realize that you are in charge and you are the problem.
You are the problem. Yeah.
And fuck this is, I am making bad choices. I can change all of this if I turn this car around. And I don't believe that
that's
enough
just the
people
accountability, realizing that you're in charge. No, because we've basically a society where we're trying to protect people in all possible ways, even though those things are necessary. Oh man, am I lagging here?
How are you protecting them?
Okay.
You're lagging a bit. But how is it that you're lagging? Because your kids are all damn nail on the head. We're bad therapy. Do not take us as any. We're unlicensed everything. Well, Jay's licensed.
Yep.
But not for your brain.
Well, you're licensed too. We're just not none of these things. Well, that's kind of the benefit I have. It's like, well, no, I'm not doing any counseling or psychiatry or anything. We're just talking here.
We're just talking here. And I tell you what, when people, the more you point fingers at everybody else, the less chance you've got of fixing the problem. And I have led a very interesting life. I have fucked up multiple times. But if you let that
Oh,
define
that's what
you,
makes
then
it interesting,
guess what?
right?
Yeah, sit in your tears and wallow, or get the hell up, say fuck this shit, and change it. Like there are so many people that are also
Yep.
they'll blame their boss, they'll blame their union, they'll blame their career in their
Yep.
misery. Then change it. Go work
Yep.
somewhere else. Trust me, you're replaceable. Someone will also
Yep.
take your job. But if you're going to sit there for the next 9 years because you have to
Hey,
do
sometimes it isn't the right thing for you.
right, and if you're there because you've got another 9 years and then you get a full pension, you're going to hate the next 9 years of your life.
Yep.
So you can enjoy the last 20 years of your life.
And everyone's gonna hate you.
Yeah, because you're that person. You're the Karen, if you want to call it, at work, and everybody hates you, but you're there because you can't get
Yep.
fired because you're part of a union and you're there. So change.
Yep.
Change. Make a change. You could be 50, make a change. You could be 30, make a change. Switch gears.
Just go have some fun with it. Just stop being so bloody scared.
Here's the thing: do the things that you enjoy doing, or that you know you're damn good at. Like, can you imagine doing a job where you could be doing so much more, but you're not because you're just comfortable where you are?
Well, that's the majority of people, I think. Statistically, it's like the number of people who really hate their jobs is frightening, right?
Yeah, and I think that when you have that many people that are truly unhappy in what they do, they're not going to be good at it.
No,
And it's hard.
no, not
Here's
at
the thing:
all.
it's
Not
and it's
at
hard to
all.
be shitty at something that you love.
Yep, exactly. Hey, I'm gonna let
Yeah,
you go.
I gotta
I'm
run too.
lagging like
You got
crazy.
19
I've
kids.
gotta
You
go
have
see what
19
those
kids
kids
in
are
your
doing.
house pissing with your internet. That's why. Okay, guys, have a
Yeah,
super
that's who
duper
knows what's
awesome
going on.
weekend. It's starting to look like summer. Enjoy it, and yeah, we'll
Go have a drink.
go have a drink.
Oh, which one was that? What was that one
What?
there? That rum? That was a.
Dead man's fingers.
There we go. Go give that
It's-
one a try.
It's better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I'm gonna go drink some Section 6.
Nice. Okay, guys,
Good stuff.
have a great
Have a good
weekend. We'll
night,
see you guys. And now I got to do some more work. So